dared to stare, unveiling the shadows of fear on fear files.
Weeks passed in Brackenmoor, and with each day, the village blossomed anew. The fog had become a distant memory, replaced by clear skies and warm sunshine that bathed the countryside in a golden glow. Eleanor Blackwood had become an integral part of the community, her presence a constant source of comfort and inspiration. As she walked through the village streets, Eleanor couldn't help but marvel at the transformation that had taken place. The once dreary buildings now gleamed with fresh coats of paint. The gardens bloomed with colorful flowers, and the laughter of children echoed in the air. It was as if the darkness of the past had been washed away, replaced by a radiant light that illuminated every corner of Brackenmoor. But despite the village's newfound vitality, Eleanor couldn't shake the feeling that something lingered beneath the surface, echoes of the past that refused to be silenced. The whispers may have been gone, but their memory lingered in the shadows, a constant reminder of the darkness that had once held sway over Brackenmoor. One afternoon, as Eleanor sat in her cottage, poring over the ancient book that had led to the breaking of the curse, she felt a chill run down her spine. The air in the room seemed to grow colder. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She glanced around nervously, but the room was empty save for her and the flickering fire in the hearth. Suddenly, a soft tapping sound caught her attention. It was rhythmic, almost hypnotic. It seemed to be coming from the window. Eleanor rose from her chair and approached cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. As she drew near, she saw a figure standing outside, obscured by the gathering dusk. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling slightly. The figure didn't respond, but continued to tap on the window pane with a steady, unyielding rhythm. With a sense of trepidation, Eleanor reached out and pulled open the window. The figure stepped into the room, its features obscured by the fading light. Eleanor gasped as she recognized the face. It was Reverend Silas Thorn, his eyes dark and unreadable. "Reverend Thorn," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "What are you doing here?" The Reverend didn't answer, but instead fixed her with a penetrating gaze. "You've disrupted the natural order, Miss Blackwood," he said, his voice low and ominous. "You've tampered with forces beyond your understanding." Eleanor felt a shiver run down her spine. "I did what was necessary to free this village from the curse," she said defiantly. "I won't apologize for that." The Reverend's expression hardened. "You may have broken the pact, but you haven't broken the spirit's hold over Brackenmoor. It will return stronger than before, and when it does, you will regret your actions." Eleanor's heart pounded in her chest. "What do you mean? What are you saying?" The Reverend's eyes gleamed with a cold intensity. "The spirit is ancient and powerful, Miss Blackwood. It cannot be defeated so easily. It will return seeking vengeance for what you've done." With that, he turned and disappeared into the gathering darkness, leaving Eleanor alone with her thoughts and her fears. She knew that Reverend Thorn's warning was not to be taken lightly. The echoes of the past were still very much alive, and the darkness that had once gripped Brackenmoor was not so easily banished. As she stood in her cottage, the fire casting long shadows on the walls, Eleanor couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled over her. The village may have been free from the curse for now, but the specter of the spirit still loomed large, a constant reminder of the fragile balance between light and darkness. With a heavy heart, Eleanor resolved to remain vigilant, to watch for any signs of the spirit's return. Brackenmoor may have been reborn, but the echoes of the past still lingered, waiting to be heard once more. And as she looked out into the gathering dusk, Eleanor knew that the battle for the soul of Brackenmoor was far from over. Thank you for braving the unknown with us. Until next time, stay haunted.